Hey, it's Monique and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I achieved this supernatural looking crochet style. So keep watching to see how I did it. It was really quick and super easy. So to start, I'm going to be braiding my hair. My hair was already previously blow dried from another style that didn't work out, but you don't have to blow dry it, in my opinion, for this style. You can totally do it on stretched hair or natural hair if you want to. Starting in the back, I'm just going to be doing one continuous braid that kind of zigzags across the back of my head. You'll see in a minute. I'm doing it pretty big because I don't want to add a lot of hair to this. I don't want this style to be heavy or too much for me because the hair is pretty big, which you'll see later on. So I wanted to do the braids pretty big so it would be a lot less on me. Now that the back is all braided up, I'm going to get started on the front. The front, I wanted to do more braids so that I would have more options for my parts and so that it would look more natural. Now, in order to ensure I have this natural look, you see I'm pulling out a small piece for my edges so that whenever I put the crochet hair in, I can blend it so it looks like the hair is coming from my root and you don't see where the crochet starts in the very front. So after I was done braiding that side, I went ahead and took all the edges that I left out and just braided them down to keep them out of the way so that I would be able to work on the crochet and not get that hair into the braid. Now that my hair is all braided up, it's time to install the hair, which you'll see in the next clip. The hair that I used was this Xpressions Spring Twist in the color 4. I really like this hair because it's already pre-separated for you. You can see there's like one curl for each thing, and it just makes it a lot easier to install. I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but I was trying to do a very light look and not have so much hair. So just having these individual twists already there for me to install, and they're pretty big and springy, makes it a lot easier to keep the style nice and light instead of like thick and heavy. Now, if you don't know how to install crochet hair, it's actually very simple. All you do is put the latch hook through the braid, closed. After you get it through, you open the latch hook, put the braiding hair into the hook, close it, pull it through, just about halfway, so there's about a loop, and then you pull the braiding hair through that loop. For this particular hair, I twisted it first before putting it on the loop, just because it's thicker and it's harder to pull it through. But either way, if you have like a thinner hair, maybe like a crochet twist or something, you don't really have to twist it. Another thing you'll notice me doing is separating the hair after I install it. This is like just my preference because I'm installing so few pieces. I do have to fluff it up so that it fills in the gaps, so it won't look like you can see my scalp and see the braids. So each piece, I believe I separated it like 1 or 2 times just to fill it up. I also didn't want it to have that like super curly look on the end. I wanted it to be very natural. Like I wanted it to be like an afro, so if it still had that curl that you see when it's just like the regular hair on it, then it would look kind of weird to me. I don't know, it's just my preference, but if you're doing this style, you could completely just leave it as is. For this last row in the back, I'm going to do a different method than I did for the rest of my head because I want this part to look very natural. So I'm starting off the same way, but whenever I pull the loop through of the crochet hair, instead of pulling both ends through, I'm only going to pull one end through. So that way it looks like it's coming from my scalp. I think this is called like the invisible root method, but you'll see in a minute how it looks a lot different from the rest of my hair. Like the rest of my hair, you can see a knot basically. In this one, it looks more so like it's coming from my scalp. Now for the front, I'm going to be doing the same method that I did for the top braid in the back, but this time I'm going to split each hair in half because I really want this to look natural. Like I don't want the hair in the front of my head to be too dense, or else it won't look like it's actually coming from my scalp. So I split each hair in half, did the same method where I only pull 1/2 of the loop through instead of the whole loop through, and now you'll actually be able to see what it looks like. As you can see, there's no knot. It looks like it could actually be coming from my scalp. Another thing I did in the front was, again, making this very sparse. I only did like, so for example, for this braid on the side of my head, I only put in 1/2 of one piece of hair. So I really didn't put a lot of hair in the front. One, I didn't want a lot of hair in my face. And 2, again, I wanted to be not very dense so it looks more natural. And you'll see in the end, it really paid off to do it this way. Now I'm all done installing the hair, and it's time to take down the little braids I put in the front for my edges so I can blend it all in. After I took them down, I used a soft brush to brush the hair into the crochet hair. I do want to give a warning. Do this at your own risk. My edges are pretty like fine, so I did notice more single strand knots when I had this style, because I think like the coarseness of the hair rubbing off my edges did cause some knots and like some tangling. So if I were to do this again, if I wanted to leave my edges out, I would definitely re-twist them, like flat twist them every night and tie it down, because I wouldn't want to risk the single strand knots and breakage again. But yeah, this is my finished product. It was super easy. It looks very natural to me. Let me know what you think. It did go down after a couple of days. Like the first day it was very fluffy, but then I kept tying it down so it would go down some. I like the way the front looks. It looks very natural. It doesn't look like I have a wig on or something. So I really liked it. And the best part was it was very quick. It took me like an hour to install the hair, and it took me like an hour to braid my hair. So yeah, let me know what you think, if you would try this style. Do you like it? Does it look natural to you? Leave a comment down below. And that's it for this video. I'll see you in my next video.